Look at these two holding a giant snake, walking in a big swamp. I didn't even feel fear. You know this snake, but it can choke a man to death. And they dare to do it. It's a swamp in Florida at this time. There's an army of cold-blooded killers out there. That's all kinds of snakes. They're taking over the swamp, decimating the local animal population. And they've eaten it by now. More than 90% of the local small mammals. They don't have any predators here. So the government of Florida, a reward has been issued to fight the snakes. Attracted many people to hunt. But pythons aren't the only threat. After weeks of fighting pythons, hunters are beginning to realize the scale of the invasion is much larger than imagined. There were even different animals. So the hunters came up with all kinds of technology to reclaim this swamp. The hunters have been hunting the python for 3 weeks now, but the snake population has not decreased. It's even more widely distributed. To this end, the hunters continued their previous strategic approach. The Florida Islands at this time, Troy and Chase, based on Bill's information, using the python's main food source, iguanas, to hunt down giant snakes. Bill even told them, "Here are the iguanas not so long ago. There's a population explosion. Iguanas have no natural predators here. But after the python invasion, it becomes their main source of food." Then Troy saw a boa constrictor and an iguana that just died. They just got close. The pythons began to attack. Although this python looks big, but brains don't work so well. I was just tricked into my hands by 2 people. And 100 miles to the north, Bruce and Zach were driving home to one of the world's largest snakes. The news came from Bill, too. He even said he took the first 3 or 4 kilometers in. You can see a lot of pythons. But recently someone reported seeing a green anaconda here. This snake is the largest snake in the world. It can reach up to 30 feet in length as an adult, and very powerful. The snake is the target of both men. They even said, although the name of this snake is unknown, but he's looking forward to catching a green anaconda. And in the Florida Islands, after catching the second python, the two decided to head to another part of the island to find more pythons. But Bill called on the way there. Bill wants us to go to the dock first. Soon they met Bill. It turned out to be Bill's friend, on the trail of a male python, and they've managed to find quite a few females through it, and found their nest. So to eliminate them as quickly as possible, Bill wants to get there as soon as possible. He's got a clipper ship for that. It reduces their time by 2/3. And Zach and Bruce on the other side, still looking for signs of green anaconda. But then something happened. Their car suddenly stopped working. The special ignition won't work. The 2 men were very afraid of this. Quickly get off to check the situation. I don't know what went wrong, though, but that didn't stop them from pushing. After all, if I can't fix it, they might be spending the night out. Who let the 2 not let the camera crew take a car or 2? And the 3 on the other side. We have successfully reached our destination, and they're already looking for signs of the python. That's when Bill pulled out a piece of technology. It's a signal receiver. Pick up the signals from those trackers inside the snake. It made Troy look envious, too, and make sure that when we catch a giant crocodile in the future, there's got to be something we can use. Although this thing is very useful, but it only helps you locate something within this radius. Bill has a plan B for this. That's using thermal imaging drones. It can help 3 people at night. Increase the success rate of catching pythons. Then the crowd saw the python in front of them. The snake was soon surrounded. Troy grabbed the snake tail in his hand. After turning this 11-foot python, once successfully bagged, everyone knew this was a good sign. It's getting closer and closer to the snake's lair. And Zach and Bruce on the other side, due to the car and cannot continue to use. The 2 had to give up their search for a green anaconda. You can only return on foot, but now they have no protection. There is always the danger of being attacked. Then Bruce saw a snake. The 2 men immediately surrounded him. Then Bruce grabbed the snake tail in his hand, and Zach was on the sidelines looking for opportunities. Although this is the first snake in days. But that didn't make it easy for either man. He was even bitten by snakes, although it didn't bite him, but also made them more scared. Could be feeling Zach's past ink stains. Bruce just grabbed the snake. After putting the snake in the bag, to this boring day, brings up some interesting implications. And the three on the other side. The hunters are still tracking their target. And now it's very close. Then Bill suddenly mentioned an animal. That's the Nile monitor lizard. It's also a creature they have to deal with. After all, he's not part of this ecosystem. It's from sub-Saharan Africa. And two people on the other side. It's starting to feel strange around here. They are now very worried. It's going in the wrong direction. After walking for 3 hours straight, Zach wants to climb the tree. But Bruce doesn't like the idea. Because anything can happen. After all, if I fall, you'll break your hands and legs. But Bruce's persuasion had no effect. Zach's still going up the tree. Fortunately, it worked out for the best. Not only did he find the right path, haven't been harmed in the least. The three on the other side. Hours have been spent looking for the python. Then they found a mysterious creature. It was the Nile monitor lizard not long ago. Fortunately, there were too many of them to let him get away. It was directly contained there. Troy and Chase saw it, just kept harassing the side, looking for a chance to end the fight. But then Bill's hand slipped. The monitor lizard is on the run again. Troy jumped right at that. It was a straight catch. Chase and Bill began to look for opportunities. The monitor lizard neighed and screamed at Chase. But it pissed Chase off too. It just exploded into a little universe. He grabbed the monitor lizard by the head. Although this thing looks like an iguana. But his sharp claws keeps proving it's a Nile monitor lizard. Although it took a lot of time to catch it. But it was worth it. It exists after all. But it's been destroying the ecology here. And the two on the other side. Still working hard in the sun. Although the road is very difficult. But the two must get out of the swamp before dark. But now the sun has gone down. Then Zach found a python. When Zach gets close, he grabs it. Not that much time to catch this python. But it also made a second profit. It can also make up for the goal of catching green anaconda. As the two of them keep moving forward. But there's no car to carry the weight of the python. Makes their pace slow. But now it's dusk. It's feeding time for many predators. Then they found something too. They look a lot like leopard footprints. And the footprints are very large. And watch the leopards move. Same way they're going. This raised the hearts of both men directly. As the two move on, a python was found again. He immediately ran after her again. Then I remembered what I had in my hand. Zach just grabbed the snake in his hand. Good thing Bruce hung up the snake. I took Zach's bag again. Then the two began to fight the python in earnest. With the snake caught, both men gained weight again on their way home. After packing the 10-foot python, neither of them wanted to carry so many bags. But the good thing is Bruce has an idea. Hang 3 bags on a branch. Work together to lift him out of the Everglades. So they carried it on their shoulders. Walk out slowly, and the 3 on the other side. We're getting closer to our goal. And try to find the snake pit before nightfall. I've been looking for so long, and I still can't find it. I almost thought this receiver was useless. But think about this thing. Can only find something in that direction. I don't know how far it is. Watching the night fall, Bill also called for emergency backup. But the fastest you can get there is when the sun is setting. The 3 continued their search for the python. And Bruce and Zach, still trudging toward hope. But then Zach couldn't feel his shoulder. But now it's almost out of the swamp. Then Bruce saw a snake. And not too small. After a little searching, no trace of a snake has been found. As the sun was about to set, the 3 on the other side met with the drone crew. In order to help them find the python, what they brought was an industrial drone. It's got a thermal camera on it. And the signal can be maintained within 24 miles. Soon night came. The crew just sent the drone into the air and brought them images. Then they found something up there, under close observation. I'm pretty sure it was a python, and there are a lot of them, and each snake is only 50 yards away from each other. After determining the location, the 3 immediately set out to find the python. Under instructions over the intercom, the trio soon found the python. After it's completely surrounded, Troy just grabbed the snake tail, but the snake is too slippery, causing the python to escape again. But Chase managed to catch him. I have to say Chase has really fast hands. Just grabbed this 12-foot beast. But there was an accident putting in the bag. The python bit Chase's hand open, and Bruce and Zach on the other side, still looking for signs of the snake. They always thought it was a green anaconda. That's when Bruce picked up the trail. The two men approached, but showed a surprised expression. But this one is half the size of an adult anaconda. Although this snake is very big. But Little Touch didn't respond. But he was too big. The two of them can't guarantee a safe situation. Bring it back to camp successfully. So they decided to leave the other snakes behind. And leave a mark here, so you can pick it up tomorrow. Now let's get this anaconda out of here. And the three on the other side, with the help of drones. They caught one python after another. And he managed to catch 5. It brought them $2,000 in revenue. But now the drone is about to run out of battery. And now it can only fly for another 8 minutes. The trio must now speed up. Soon a python was seen again. Although in this arrest, Bill was hurt, but that didn't dampen his excitement. After putting the python in the bag. And that's the end of the day for the three. But Bruce and Zach on the other side, after an 8-hour trek, out of the Everglades at last, and successfully brought the anaconda to the front of the bus. After successfully loading the snake into the car, the two men immediately ran to the camp, and the three on the other side. The trio achieved very good results here, and successfully filled the bag in hand. And such a good harvest. It's basically all thermal imaging drones. Although this is not a small gain. But Chase and Bill were both bitten, but I got a few $1,000. It's a great way to soothe both hearts. Well, that's all for this program. Give it a thumbs up, and let's look forward to the next episode.